Hi guys, Jade Morris here. I'm joined today by UFC veteran Brad Pickett. We're going to break down the fight that's happening on Saturday night, Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor. Brad, thank you so much for talking to us today. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Thanks for having me here.
Oh, it's great to have you. So, big fight Saturday night. What are your thoughts? We've obviously had weeks of build-up. What have you thought about it?
To be honest, it's one of those ones where my mind with this fight has been going all over the place. You know, like when it first ever got announced, which I didn't believe was going to happen, to be honest. But when it did finally get announced, I was like, there's no way McGregor's going to win. Obviously, it's going to be Mayweather, of course. And it's just, I don't know why, I don't know what it is. Something about McGregor, which he has a really good way to, he has so much self-belief, he kind of makes you start to believe. And that's what I think he's done not to many people. And I think with the betting, I think it's 98% been on McGregor and 2% on Mayweather. But that's also because the odds are so stacked in one way, you know. But yeah, it's definitely got the world's attention.
And with the build-up as well, have you, because I got asked yesterday, you know, are they getting under each other's skin? Do you think that, or do you think they're both so well trained that, you know, they're just not bothered?
I think there's been obviously a bit of smack back and forth, but I think they're both quite professional. They both had it back and forth. I don't think they're really. Yeah, I think they're tolerant each other. I think that definitely both of them admire each other in a lot of ways. You could tell that, you know. It's just funny. Like even yesterday when Mayweather called Conor McGregor a clown because he was messing around and stuff like that. It's funny, you know. But obviously, Saturday night it's not funny. It's business, and we see who was laughing at the end of that night.
And we actually saw as well, we saw Mayweather, he was eating a burger on Embedded saying, you know, I'm not taking this fight seriously. Do you think he's taking the fight seriously?
He's a competitor and you don't want to lose. He's 49-0 for God's sake. You don't want to be 49-1. So of course he's taking this fight seriously. But he doesn't really have to cut weight. That's why he can eat what he wants, really. Because McGregor is the much bigger person, you know. I think the fight's at 150, so McGregor's going to have to cut weight to make this weight, where Mayweather walks around at that sort of weight, so he don't have to cut weight at all.
And there is a big height difference as well, you know, between the two. Do you think that will have any effect on the fight at all?
It definitely plays, obviously, in the advantage of McGregor. McGregor has a much longer wingspan, you know, much rangier fire, taller, you know, so it does pose a lot of different obstacles, I believe, for Mayweather to overcome. But you know, obviously, it's just these little things help McGregor. But obviously, still, because it's a boxing match, the odds are going to be massively in on Mayweather's side, basically.
And as it's been announced recently, so we now have the 8-ounce gloves. What are your thoughts on that? Because we obviously heard from John Kavanagh, he said that that's a bit of bravado from Mayweather that's backfired. What do you think? Some people said, well, Mayweather's fought that, you know, with them gloves before, it doesn't matter, but he's not been hit by Conor McGregor, so what do you think?
Obviously, smaller gloves that will benefit McGregor, obviously, because I think McGregor's only chance to win in this fight is stopping Mayweather early, which is obviously no one's done before. But that's his only chance. I don't believe he can outbox a boxer over 12 rounds. So obviously, the smaller the gloves are, the more chance if he lands that shot, he can put Mayweather away. But Mayweather, to be honest, what people don't realise, most of his fighting career he's fought in 8-ounce gloves, so there's no difference to him really. But it does help McGregor out a little bit, yeah.
And also, you know, people have turned around and said, you know, an MMA fighter hasn't been hit by a boxer before, you know, we hit harder. As obviously an MMA fighter yourself, what do you think of that?
That's just who said that? I want to know for one. It is pretty naive and stupid to think. I think a lot of people don't think MMA fighters can box. We box, you know. A lot of our training is boxing, kickboxing. We learn how to fight and throw punches, you know. It's just that we have to do everything, you know, where they could just solely concentrate on one discipline, you know. So obviously, in combat sports, for me, that's why, before I go on a massive tangent, alright, boxing has been around for years. Back in the day, boxing was like the tough man sport where you didn't want to do karate or taekwondo or judo. You wanted to see how tough you are, you know, you kind of took up boxing. But now the new tough man sport is MMA. It's surpassed that, you know. Why be limited just to using your hands when you can use your hands, knees, elbows, legs, grapple, wrestle, do everything? So obviously, for me, the much harder discipline is MMA. There's not one professional boxer who could go into the UFC and win an MMA fight. 100%, no way. But there probably are a few MMA fighters that do have really good boxing that could transfer into the boxing world, like McGregor is doing. He's not. I'm not saying he's going to win the fight, but he's not as bad. You saw the sparring with Paulie. Obviously, yeah, Paulie wasn't in great shape and all that stuff, but he's still a world champion in boxing as well. And McGregor didn't look that bad, you know. So it's pretty naive. Some people thinking that just because you do MMA, you don't know how to box.
Well, I mean, we've had, you know, some crossovers as well. Obviously, Holly Holm, she was a boxing champion, and even she said that she'd give McGregor a chance. So it just shows that, you know, someone who has come from both disciplines, she has said that, you know, you can't rule anyone out, and it is true. It's a fight. You can't ever rule anyone
punches,
out.
You know, anyone throwing punches, there's always a chance.
Honestly, with so you brought up Paulie Malignaggi then. Yeah, there was a bit of a scuffle between them the other day. What do you think in terms of whether, you know, it should have been released? Obviously, we've got it here on the screen. So they had a bit of a scuffle the other day. What were your thoughts when you heard about that?
Obviously, Paul's just, you know, he's got his butt hurt a little bit by what's been done. And rightly so, he's a man. It's a male-dominated sport, you know. So, like, I mean, there's a lot of bravado kind of thing. So, yeah, so he's just been hurt by it, and words were said and stuff. And yeah, I think they don't like each other, and yeah, so be it.
And do you think it was true that he did possibly have the advantage from what you've seen of the footage of the actual fight when he did get knocked down? So I know a lot of people have been going over the footage going, was it a knockdown or was he pushed down? Have you had a chance to look at it and see what you think?
I've seen it, but it's not a case it was a knockdown or pushdown. You just see by the footage, he was losing, you know, but I'm not, if I wanted to be a real analyst, then you need to see the full footage, because that could be in the 12th round where he's out of shape, you know, like, obviously I don't think Paulie went into the camp thinking he's going to do a 12 rounds with Conor, who's in great shape, you know. So obviously, once you get tired, I'll say even in MMA, once you're tired, you can put a rookie on you and they can give you a hard time, because when you're tired, you're tired. But push down or not push down, it was getting lit up a little bit in my eyes, you know. He was getting hit a lot.
Honestly, come fight night, so Saturday night, how do you see the fight going down? We've heard a lot of predictions over the past few weeks. If you could predict it, how could you see this fight actually going down?
For me, McGregor's only chances are early doors. A lot of it's to how Mayweather chooses to fight. If Mayweather comes out like he says he is, which he won't, it was going to play into McGregor's favour, you know. But I honestly see this Mayweather coming out, taking a few rounds, maybe like 3 to 4 rounds, just to figure out. It's a different object in front of him. He's used to boxers and how boxers move. McGregor is completely different. He's going to move different. He's going to switch stances, throw punches from different angles. So I think he's going to be quite cautious and stuff. With very defensive. If he comes out guns blazing, hallelujah, we're in for a fight. But when's the last time you seen Mayweather do that? He's very cautious now. You know, he's the pound for pound the best defensive boxer. You know, in my eyes, he's not a great thing to be called the best defensive boxer. You know, you want to be offensive, but he has great offense as well, but he doesn't use it. He's saying he may use it in this fight, which would be interesting to see. But like I say, I see him sussing out McGregor in the first 4 rounds, and then coming on like rounds 5, 6, 7, and starting hitting McGregor a bit more, and when you do get hit clean by any shot, you know, you're gonna feel it. So even though Mayweather's not much of a puncher, he hasn't finished someone for a long time. I probably think the last one was Ricky Hatton. Yeah. And that was what, 2010 or something, a long time ago. So he's not much of a finisher, and he's got bad hands. But you get hit clean by anybody, and hit clean. Fatigue. So I'm going a bit long-winded here, but I kind of think Mayweather would stop McGregor in probably round 7 or something like that. Yeah. If it goes to decision, I think McGregor wins. You know, like really? Not on points. No, he will lose, but just morally, go to this with Floyd Mayweather. That's a win in itself. So I think just to save face for boxing, Mayweather needs to put McGregor away.
And people have said as well they can't even see Conor McGregor landing even one punch. What are your thoughts on that? Because I think, you know, it could happen. Maybe you could catch him with at least one left hook, but people think he's not going to touch him at all.
I don't know. Not many people have hit Mayweather clean. You know, he's been rocked a couple of times throughout his career, but that is it. You know, he's had 50 fights, but a lot of them going the distance. He hasn't really been hit clean that much. So, but he's been out 2 years. You know, he's getting older, but he's still an absolute phenomenal athlete and still has that speed. You see it all day long. But he has put a lot of things against himself where, he's finding a younger, taller, bigger guy. You know, that's why his fight is just so interesting. It's so interesting. He's got the world talking about it.
Secondly, somebody was saying, you know, it could be bad for boxing, and what do you think of that? Do you think it could be bad for boxing?
I think it's great for MMA. I don't think there's a loser in MMA. I think it's bad for boxing in some ways because, for me, the number one combat sport out there is MMA. I got used to box myself, and even throughout my career, when I started seeing the UFC and stuff like that, I was like, this is real. This is going to be the next thing. And then I never believed that it would be within my lifetime, let alone within my fighting career, that I think MMA has surpassed boxing. We hit bigger numbers in the pay-per-views, you know, the massive numbers now, and then that's why now you're seeing things like this where MMA fighters coming over into boxing to try and do something, you know. So for me, if McGregor wins, it puts that nail on the coffin. I think boxing is semi in the grave in my eyes. You know, it's just my personal thing. Anthony Joshua has really lifted that, but the thing is, not many fights in boxing, not many. Triple G, you know, there's a few boxings with Canelo and stuff like that. You're looking interesting, but then when those fights happen, you don't see it again. Like when Mayweather fought Pacquiao, great. That was like 5 or 6 years too late. You know, we didn't see it when we wanted to see it, and that's the thing where. In boxing, there's so many different promotions: WBA, WBC, WBO. So much politics. None of the best guys in the world get to fight each other because you don't know who's the best guy in the world. Is it the WBO, WBC? You don't know. The best guys in the world in MMA. You watch the UFC. The people holding the belt in the UFC are the best guys in the world. So for the consumer, it's very easy to realize who's the best guy in the world. When boxing is with all this politics with belts, it always found it really hard.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Brad, for your time. We really appreciate it. Guys, don't forget, you can tune in tonight for the weigh-ins, which start at 11 a.m. Thank you very much.
Thank you.